What's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy Ivorian Spice, and welcome back to Red United TV. Welcome to the football podcast here with my co-host, of course, Ola from Football Family. As always, guys, every week Thursdays, discussing everything football related across the pond, across Europe, across England as well, and anything exciting as well, man. Big up to Ola, Ola. Big up to you as well, man. Of course, I'm only smiling because you know why I'm smiling, because last time we spoke heavily about Asna, yeah. And again, I feel like I'm getting right with the Arsenal predictions, But big up to everyone that's tuning in right now. Make sure you subscribe to Red United TV, smash that like button, subscribe to Football Family as well on YouTube, and then follow us on all social media platforms. We're live across YouTube, Twitch as well, and also Rumble. So make sure you guys get yourself involved in the comments. For those who are watching on playback as well, make sure you put your thoughts in the comments of what you thought of the video. But yes, big up, Ola. What you saying, my bro?
Yeah.
How you
Yes,
be?
bro. Like I don't know what to say because we spoke yesterday. If we could remember, where I was saying I think Arsenal
Yeah.
would still get the edge, and would still be able to qualify because like due to the fact that they bottled the league. I didn't even expect that it would be Arsenal and City. So I think it's just interesting. Uh, but big up guys, big up everyone that's tuning in. Like everyone says, subscribe, like, share, follow Football Family and Red United TV on all social media platforms, and just enjoy a great show. A lot of banter. I don't really want to say banter because we are not Arsenal fans, but just let's just say a lot of interesting things to talk about on the show today. So stay tuned, guys, and just like as you guys come in and subscribe if you are new. Thank you.
Exactly. For those who are watching today, we've got the Champions League review on the agenda. We've got a little quick Cole Palmer, of course, for Ola, and of course, Bashing Schweinsteiger's interview, and the FA Cup preview. Manchester United, Coventry, Chelsea, Man City are playing each other this weekend for a place in the finals of the FA Cup. So we'll see. We'll discuss about who we think will go through to the finals and who could potentially win the FA Cup. And of course, regarding the Champions League, 4 teams left. There's a semi-finals to be played. And of course, all the English teams in the Champions League have been officially knocked out. So as you can see in the title, Arsenal, Man City knocked out. That means Man City will not be doing this treble. They won't be winning back-to-back Champions League. But the mighty Hala Madrid have, the footballing gods always speak to those who have the history and their football heritage. And that also goes towards Arsenal as well, that these teams will always find a way to prevail and do something in the Champions League. But let's get straight into it. Of course, let's go straight into it. The Champions League review for those who are watching. Yeah, as you know, let me just give you guys a scenario. Last week, we discussed who we think could potentially go through into the next round. Yeah, I chose Bayern Munich to knock out Arsenal, while Ola chose Arsenal to knock out Bayern Munich to go into the semi-finals. And then when it came to Real Madrid and Man City, I think I went with Man City. And Ola, did you go with Man City or Real Madrid?
Yeah, I work with Madrid, but like we're talking about the home advantage with City, but I think I went with Madrid because I
Yeah,
just believe they would edge it. Basically.
yes. You went with Madrid, and you was right. And then we went for the PSG and Barcelona game, and I was going with Barcelona because I do not believe PSG had it. But they proved us wrong. PSG are through to the semi-finals. They will be playing Borussia Dortmund, who also knocked out Atletico Madrid. What a comeback for Borussia Dortmund, who was, I think, was it level? Were they level on tie before they played each other, or were they losing Borussia Dortmund to Atletico
No,
Madrid?
no, they were losing. Borussia Dortmund were losing. Atletico Madrid
Mm.
were leading. They won the first leg two goals to one, and it was a
Yeah.
fantastic game from Borussia Dortmund. And I think for the PSG one, I think I was leaning more towards PSG because I spoke about Mbappe trying to like
Mm-hmm.
go get into the final and take a PSG to that level, or at least get to, so you can live as someone that will be remembered as a PSG player. They are in the semis against Dortmund. They can
Mm-hmm.
actually get to the final. And I think that's good. So let's go into it in details.
Of course. Big up Stephanie as well, who just put, so big up Ivorian and Ola. Big up Stephanie. We're on 4 likes right now. Guys, we are looking for 10 likes for today's stream. So continue smashing that like button. Get your thoughts in the comment. And let's go straight into the Champions League review. Let's start it off with,
Yeah.
of course, the big game that took place yesterday, which was, of course, Manchester City versus Real Madrid, where Madrid beat Man City on penalty shots, level on tie on aggregates, 4-4 on aggregates. Real Madrid leading 1-0 early in the first half for Man City to equalize later on in the second half, and going into extra
Yeah.
time, City with so much energy. I just wondering how does the City team 120 minutes just still full of it? You could see Real Madrid dead. They were dead. They were having cramps. They couldn't take it, but they still found a way. Now look at my team, Manchester United,
Yeah.
who are striding to be as fit as them, and they keep falling down on the floor, getting injured,
Yeah.
crying about hard training, or they're being trained too hard, and Ten Hag requires a lot. This is the type of level that we want to aspire to. You will
Yeah.
go through injuries, because why? When you was a counter-attacking team, a low blocking team, you wasn't used to the amount of intensity. So your body's
You have
adjusting and
now. Yeah.
adapting. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
right? I love
Yeah.
City, for the way they showed themselves for 120 minutes. Phil Foden running, no problems, not tired, man. But again, shocking. Was it shocking? Or was it a surprise? Or was it you surprised to see that the footballing god once again favored Real Madrid in the penalty shootouts? And then I have to say, Ola, do you know what? I don't ever recall Manchester City ever playing a penalty shootout. I can't remember them getting to a penalty shootout, because usually they beat you before it gets to penalties. And this was probably like their
Yeah.
first time they've ever been in a shootout in front of their fans with all that pressure behind them and ended up losing. Man, let me start off with you, man. Let's get
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
thoughts on that game,
But
man.
but
And
but but Ivorian, you are talking about the fans, which I don't know the fans you're talking about because it was at the Etihad, it was
there's
at
no
the
fans,
Etihad,
man.
like there were no fans there, so I guess maybe that's why they lost. But it was a very good game of football. Like the I think in the second half, Real Madrid were like they were gone. The pressure was
Mm-hmm.
too them. City, like if I think City deserve to win that than what they got
Mm-hmm.
as the results because they played like they were not scared of Real Madrid. Real Madrid got the goal, fine, but after since the goal, it was all Manchester City till until penalties. And I think that's like you said, the footballing god. The Champions League is a different ball game. Like I always say, sometimes you don't need to be the best team. You don't need to play the best football. You just need to take your chances, and that was what Real Madrid did. Same with City. City got the goal in the second half, but they could not get that second goal to win the tie. And penalties, is luck. Once it gets to penalties, anyone can win, and that was what happened in the game yesterday. But I think Real Madrid, you can't say they don't deserve it because in the first leg they did really well. Second leg too, got the goal. Defense, like the defense was fantastic. They did really well. They kept City at bay. The goalkeeper, credits to the goalkeeper, Lunin. Like see the story, see the fairy tale
Mm-hmm.
story of Lunin. He
Oh,
was a
please
third
show
choice
me. Let us
goalkeeper.
know. Let us know.
It was the third choice. It was brought in as the third choice goalkeeper for Real Madrid, and no, I don't know how it happened. The two goalkeepers before him got injured, and he started playing. And he has been instrumental in their campaign so far this season, making
Mm-hmm.
saves upon saves. And see what he did in the penalty shootout. Like I could say he took Real Madrid to the final because he saved two good penalties, and that's what puts Real Madrid in this final, and that's why you never give up, don't underrate anyone. And
Mm-hmm.
I think you could see after the game, every player were running to him, they were giving him the praise, they were giving him the accolades he deserved because he was very instrumental in that game. They could have lost the game from the first half, but it's a good game. Real Madrid now, I think it's getting interesting now because we can see a German and an all German final, or we can also see a mixed final, and that's something to be excited about. This year's Champions League is bringing surprises. I know, fine. Man City, now they can't defend the Champions League, and I'm happy with that because I say it's the last game. I don't want to see them winning the treble. I don't want to see them
Mm-hmm.
uh turning the just now. It's not really about the Premier. It's about the world of football. And if you
Yeah.
see, I did Man City win the Champions League back to back. I think that's going to be good for them, good for the fans, and good uh for Manchester, a part of Manchester, but the other part of Manchester won't be having it. And I think it was a good game of football. And into the next round semi-finals, let's see another like exciting set of games.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's see, man. Because again, I said before, was Man City dominated the game as they did, but Real Madrid showed resilience. They've been there. They know, and the manager was never stressed. Was never animated on the touchline. For those who are watching, yeah, he was just Don Carlo, just cool, calm, and composed throughout the whole match, just walking up and down the line, just giving everyone that eye, that stare. But again, Real Madrid just showed exactly what football heritage means, the history of the European football, what they do, and they never give up. The footballing gods favored Real Madrid. Real Madrid, I'm just happy that they are the ones who took and ushered City out, so City eventually out, so they can never win that treble back to back or that quadruple, and that we probably thought they was going to win. So now they can just focus themselves heavily on probably the FA Cup and also the Premier League. For those who are watching, continue smashing that like button and share across all social media platforms. And then let's move it to the another game and another English team that we spoke about last week. Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal Football Club. And I'm not even surprised this one here because I said it. I said, this next 2 weeks, guys, for those who are watching, this next 2 weeks will define how good Arsenal really is, because they've got to play Bayern Munich in the first leg and then play Aston Villa and then play Bayern Munich again. And it's about how strong their squad is. Do they have the
Yeah,
strength and the squad to carry them to see a game in the Champions League? And because that's a high level state game,
yeah,
which is very intense, and then continue to have a high level state game on the weekend against Aston Villa. They drew the first game, and I said it to my friend. I said it to my boy Mook, and I said it that game, and I think I said it to you all yesterday. That game, that 2-2 draw, told me that they were gonna go out the next leg, because them going to the Allianz Arena to play them there, it's going to be a difficult game. They ended up losing on the weekend as well, changing their team, just making about 4 or 5 chances. I mean, four changes to that starting lineup. And then again, this week again, it's a very important week, and this weekend as well for Arsenal. And they failed, they bottled it. I keep saying that bottle is
Yeah.
looking for a job, and there's a vacancy at
No, no,
Arsenal,
no.
and that bottle can get hired anytime soon at Arsenal. Bayern Munich, Arsenal again looking flat, losing 1-0,
Yeah.
getting knocked out. Bukayo Saka's being blamed by every Arsenal fans. Mikel Arteta out, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're not happy.
They are back on
Then,
board now. Yeah.
well, what are you gonna say about
They
your second team, Arsenal?
the Arteta outsiders are back now, shouting and screaming. And I think like as a football fan, I know I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I think yes, Arsenal need to go a level, which is like winning the league and qualifying for the Champions League. But you can't tell me Arteta has not done a good job with this squad. And so far this season, they were the ones screaming 9 out of 9, winning 6-0, 4-0, 5-0 at the start of this year. So you can't come now because of uh 2 bad games. I know they are 2 crucial games. It's okay to be pissed. Like it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel like you want your team to go to the next level. Yes, but you can't tell me Ateta has not done a good job with the squad because he has been winning games in the league back to back. Till I think he just lost 1 game, which is the Aston Villa game. Like in 10 games, he has won 9. So what do you want to say? Why blame a manager if he's doing such a good job? But I think for I understand the reaction, and like I told you, I thought Arsenal would go through
Mm-hmm.
in the Champions League, not because of anything, but because I feel at some point you need to pass that stage. You can't keep down into towards the end of the season. So I was giving them a benefit of the doubt that they can actually go beyond the stage of just bottling it every time. And like I said they need to go out of 1 for 1. Either they stay in the Champions League and lose the league, or focus on the league and lose the Champions League. And now with the way things are going, they're about to lose both. Fine. They still have the opportunity to win the league because it's still opened. City can still lose a game, but do you trust them to win their games? They've lost 2 games on the bounce now. Aston Villa and now Bayern, and now they're out of the Champions League. They don't have FA Cup. They don't have any other thing to. We need to focus on the league. But now the league is not in their hands again. Like I feel they had won against Aston Villa. Now the league is all in their hand, and they can actually just go all out and say yes, we can win all our games in the league. But now they can't do that anymore because they are already second. And once City goes to the top of the table, they hardly come down. They would go all through. But anything can still happen. I think they still have a chance. But now they need to rely on City to bottle it, and they need to rely on their players to step up and get them the results. But the Champions League, I don't think anyone. Bayern find they might not be on the best form. They don't have anything to win again. Only the Champions League. So they needed the win the same way Arsenal needed the win. And I felt like the best team won. The atmosphere in Germany, the fans they were up for it, the players were up for it, gave their all. The Arsenal players too gave. I don't think they could, but on the day into the semi-final, and now they need to face Real Madrid, and that's going to be a very interesting game to look forward to. But all around, I think Arsenal now needs to start the fasting and prayer and wish he can lose a game or two, and they can actually win the league, which I don't think that.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. Well, I have to say, Man City is going to focus on the league and the FA Cup. Yeah, they're angry now. You don't want to be that team that plays Man City when they lose. They're really pissed off that they've been knocked out, and they thought they can go all the way in the Champions League and win it again back to back. Pep must be thinking, okay, now that we're out, we have to show ourselves in the FA Cup, go to the finals, potentially meet a Coventry or Manchester United and beat us again. And of course, with the Premier League, they're on top of the table. They have the advantage. So now they can just focus on that. And you know what? Yeah, it probably is a disadvantage to Arsenal because they thought, okay, we're out of the Champions League. Okay, that means we can focus on our Premier League title hunt. You know, while Real Madrid, I mean, while Man City would have
But
been,
now
I
they
would have
can't.
thought Man City would go through, but they can't. They were both in the same boat. So now they're thinking, ah, shit,
Yes, to
we've
progress. Yeah.
definitely lost this title, man. And another team, let's go. Let's move on from Arsenal and move on to PSG and Barcelona, which had their game with Barcelona themselves scoring the early goal with Rafinha,
Yeah.
and then with Barcelona was leading 3-2 on aggregates to now again losing to PSG, who PSG destroyed them after their
4-2. Yeah.
4-2 on aggregates. I mean 4-2 on the night when they got
No, no, yes, on the night before the red card.
on
Yeah,
the night
before
sorry,
the red card.
4-1,
That
4-1 on the
was it,
night.
man.
Mhm. And of course PSG winning
Yeah, yeah,
with
4-1 on the night.
Barcelona losing the man. Mhm.
But yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
again, big up to Manu as well. Manu as well, just tuning in. Manu just says, let's pray for Bayern for the clowns of
yeah,
Arsenal. But yes, as I was saying, PSG, I was surprised for them to actually go through into the next round. Never saw
yeah,
that one coming. And they have to count themselves lucky because, of course, that record had a huge
yeah.
impact. Let's be honest. Arujo getting sent off very early in the first half, which meant that um, Barcelona had to play the rest of the game, including the rest of the first half and the second half, with 10 men. Was quite difficult for them, and of course, it was a big advantage. And PSG took that advantage to beat them like that. Hey, and then to go through. Let's see. But I still am in doubt that PSG will win this Champions League. I just can't see them winning. That league is too soft. If Barcelona had their 11 man, I think we'll be looking at a different result. To be honest with you, Ola, what's your thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know. Like in the our last show, I think I talked a lot about PSG and Mbappe leaving and all, and it needs to turn up. It needs to show better. It needs to try to take them into the next level, or just even get into the semi-final or the final of the Champions League. And that was why that's why I would say I'm not surprised. Like you said, the red card played a huge part in this game and the result. But I think at the end of the day, football is not always like there's luck when it comes to football. And I think that let's say the god of football was on PSG's side and can actually be on their side onto the final because now they have to play Dortmund. Dortmund is not going to be easy. Dortmund, like I feel like the 50-50 game, they can actually lose the game or win it. But once they get into the final, I think anything that is in the final it's on a different level. You can't
Yeah.
you can't predict who is going to win, what Arno is going to do this because it's the final. So I think it takes more than just we as fans predicting and looking at okay the permutations and all that. Okay, what's best? Like Barcelona were a better team in the first game. Even in the second game with the red card, they still tried. But now PSG are the one in the semi-final, and they can actually get into the final and they can actually win it. They actually have an equal chance to win it like every other team going into the semi-final. So I think for the game, I think Mbappe 2 goals, a penalty, and scoring the last goal in the game. I think that's good for him. I just feel like just imagine PSG winning the Champions League. That's
Yeah.
going to be like the best way for Mbappe to end his stint with PSG because
Yeah.
they have been looking for this Champions League for years. And
Yeah.
and and the more you progress in these competitions, the more confidence you get. The more fight the players bring in. I think we've seen some fantastic goals. Like look at the strike from Vitinha. He
Hmm.
scored in the first leg. He scored in the second leg. These players are trying to step up and show that yes, we can actually do something in this tournament. And into the semi-finals, Borussia Dortmund they can actually get to the final. But overall, the game I think the red card really affected the game because Barcelona scoring first that was already 4-2 on aggregate. So they could
Yeah.
have just gone on to win the game like 5, 6, 7 goals like in aggregates. But the red card I think really affected them and gave PSG the confidence to come all out, put the pressure on them and get the goals. And overall, football is not always fair. Red card is part of football. The yellow card is part of football. So you can't say it's it's unfair on them because the challenge, the red card, everything is part of it's a good game of football. A lot of goals, and that's one thing I've enjoyed. I always say goals, obviously. And in this quarterfinals, we've seen goals. we've seen goals, and I hope the semi-final too is the same, so we can all enjoy it as neutrals. Because I don't think like all the English team are out now, so we need to support any of the teams left in the Champions League now. So let's just enjoy the football. But it was a good game. It was a good game. PSG,
Yeah.
Barcelona.
And again, both English teams getting knocked out this level so far, not reaching the semi-final out. I wonder if it's going to have an impact, guys, for those who are watching, on whether there'll be 5 teams for English teams next season, or 4 or 6, depending on. And we just have to hope for the teams that are doing the English teams in the Europa League can advance all the way to the final to give England a better opportunity. And big up to Manu that's talked about Lunin. Yeah, we did think that Lunin is a good goalkeeper. Would we go for him if Man United would like to go for what we've seen so far as a backup goalkeeper? Because I still feel like Onana has really come of age recently, Manu. And of course, we're not really going to talk about the Dortmund and Atletico Madrid game because you don't want to go too much into this Champions League review. But now you're looking at the situation. It's Dortmund, PSG versus PSG, Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I think can go to the final. And who do you think will go to the final? Of course, this will change as we get nearer to the time as well. Our opinions will change as we see the first leg and then we see the second leg. But so far as things are standing right now, it's the Giants, which is Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, which is a tough one to call because the footballing gods, the footballing heritage, the experience is on both sides. They know how to win this, to go through these tough situations on both sides. But I'm looking at it and I look at the squad of Real Madrid and I look at the squad of Bayern Munich, and I'm going to go on who's going with which team is stronger. I'm looking at Real Madrid going to the finals. I'm definitely looking at Real Madrid, and of course to play PSG in the finals, because I don't think Dortmund are strong enough to go through, and I would hate it to see. Actually, no, I would love it because it will add more value to Jadon Sancho, and so we can get rid of him. But it wouldn't be nice because then you know the trolling we will get. Oh, like you let go of Jadon, and now he's in the final of the Champions League. Oh, he might have won it. Now he's won the Champions League. But again, it adds value to the player if he does well. For Dortmund, it's an advantage for Manchester United, to be honest with you. But yeah, I see it as PSG versus Real Madrid in the final. What's your thoughts before we move on to the next?
Yeah, I think with Bayern performances, I don't think they played really well against Arsenal, even though they are into the semi-final. So I think Madrid, the likes of Vinicius, Rodrigo, I think those players will be going to the final with Real Madrid. And also, I think the PSG and Dortmund game, I'm a little bit stuck in between in that game because I feel PSG also they are not like the best. They are not playing their best football. They've not played the best football this season. And Dortmund, I think towards the end of the season, they've been getting wins. The confidence has been growing. Look at the way they played against Atletico Madrid. Came all out, got the goals, very good goals. Sabitzer was very instrumental in their game. Had three assists and a goal. That's fantastic for him and the confidence. And I think it's just going to be a tough one, but I think I will stick with you also. I'll go for Real Madrid PSG. The likes of Mbappe, Dembele could actually take PSG to the final, and then I will stick with Real Madrid PSG also for the final.
And he's sticking with Real Madrid and PSG just like me as we move on to the next segment, which will hand over to you, Ola. And this is regarding, of course, Ola, you take it away.
Yeah, a minute, please, Ivorian. I need
Cole
to
Palmer. For
get
those,
something.
again, he wants to speak about
No,
Cole
Coco.
Palmer. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to allow Kopama too much. Like
Yeah,
we spoke yesterday,
briefly,
I was
yeah.
telling you, he's not a Chelsea player, so I can't actually be talking about Kopama too much. But I think we saw what he did again, 4 goals, in the Everton game. But we know Everton are not really on form. They are not really the best side this season. But I think Kopama for a young player coming into Chelsea, what he has done or what he's doing in that Chelsea squad, the confidence is bringing into that Chelsea squad. Anytime he's on the ball, the confidence the players around him have that yes, this player can actually do something. And it's not just only scoring the goals, it's not just only assisting, like he's doing everything. He's all right. Like in the last 2-3 games for Chelsea, I've watched their game and I noticed they've switched. Pochettino has switched him from playing on the right wing into the middle, into the middle of the pitch, and he's still doing really good. that shows the type of player. That shows the quality of player. He's adapting in different positions. I watched the last game before this one, and I think that was against Sheffield United. Lost. Yeah, they drew against Sheffield United 2-2. Chelsea drew against Sheffield United 2-2, and the fans were pissed that why is he starting Madueke and playing Kopama in the middle? But we saw what Kopama could do in that position against Everton. 4 goals, 4 very good goals.
Yeah.
And look at the penalty incident. I don't think anyone should be arguing with Kopama if he wants to take a penalty, because he has scored all his penalties this season and he has taken them fantastically well. We saw what he did against Manchester United in the game, and the
Mhm.
confidence he has to step up and take a free kick in that moment. We've seen players that are world class lose penalties in that moment. We've seen players that are world class not even not even stand up to the occasion and say, yes, I want to take this. So that shows the level of confidence he has. That shows the level of quality he has.
And the
I think it
mentality.
can just improve. Yes, the mentality. I think it can only just improve from here. But this is me. I like Obama, and I will always just say, what do you think? Like, if you look at this season for Obama, and also is joint top goal scorer currently in the Premier League
Yes.
with Erling Haaland. So, but in the Chelsea side that have been really bad this season, and this is funny, but Chelsea can actually still go above Manchester United if we keep on losing. So
If we keep
that's
on winning,
another.
yeah.
So and if they keep on winning, so you get like Kobama this season. What do you think about Kobama as a player? And now this is the Chelsea squad, a very young squad.
Mhm.
Next season, they will get better. I don't know for sure, but with what we are seeing glimpses of what they could do. So, do you think Obama can be the one to bring Chelsea back to that level that they deserve to be with, coupled with other players? But do you think he has that influence on the team and he has the quality to take Chelsea back to the next level?
As we speak right now, he's already their best player. They already count on him. He's
Yeah,
their penalty taker. He's their top goal scorer, and they just bought him this season on the 15 minute, which is a bargain. What pays me the
yeah,
most is that, again, for those who don't know, Cole Palmer boyhood club is Manchester United, and trained and raised at Manchester City. You'll be thinking, don't Manchester United have this sort of information? A club that wants to encourage Brexit, English players for their core of the spine of Manchester United for the new squad going forward.
yeah.
You would think that they would have went for him instead. Forget about the rivalry. You want to go for a player that wants to play for your club. He would have jumped at it, but he went to Chelsea, and you look at him now, a player that they let go. This is his first season. I would say this is like his inaugural season, showing himself baptism of the Premier League and
Yeah.
English football for first team, and becoming a key man, a senior man for the team, as they say. But yeah, because of course when he was at Man City, he was a bit part player. He was being integrated into the first team of
That's
Man
interesting.
City.
Yeah,
Of course, he wanted more games, and Pep was unable to give him the games. I think Pep wanted to bring him in just like the way he brought in Phil Foden, slowly but surely, after
yeah,
two
but surely, yeah,
becoming the main guy. But still, so far this season, for his first season, and you watch him. You know what? Cole Palmer is not that player that is very flashy. He's very efficient in what he does. I'll be honest with you. He's got a bit of flair, but he's not as flary as you think he would be. But what he does is very effective. He's finishing, his mentality,
yeah.
his interplay, his link-up play, which is all down to the football scholarship and schooling of Manchester City, with Pep Guardiola being there. So big up to him as well. But I have to say, looking at him, to me, he's a real deal. To me, he should
Yeah,
both be going to the Euros. To me, Rashford should be dropped, and Cole Palmer should be in that squad. Rashford should be at
yeah.
home watching on TV, watching Cole Palmer play in the Euros. Yeah, for
And
the
you can
City.
actually see you can actually see the difference. Like you mentioned something, you mentioned the city
Mhm.
style, the city football. You could see the difference of Kopama to every other player in that Chelsea squad.
Yeah,
His composure on the ball, the way he links up the play, the way he takes. I think Kopama is a bit like Oscar, if you remember
mhm.
Oscar at Chelsea,
Yeah,
but I think
yeah,
he is just on a different level. They don't have the physique of a very strong player, but they will run through you, they'll pick the ball up, they will go through you, and they will create and score goals. I think Cole Palmer this season, I don't think anyone like imagine Chelsea being 11th Like 2 or 3 days ago, just were 11th, and a player from Chelsea is the joint top scorer.
Hmm.
The guy takes the chances. He doesn't care if if they are winning 2-0. He still wants to score. He's still hungry for more. And you could see that with a lot of City players. Look at the season Phil Foden is having at Manchester City. And last season he didn't really play well, and we all were like, okay, what's going on with Phil Foden? He needs to bring it up and see the levels he has taken it to this season. Phil Foden has scored fantastic goals, like very not like goals that are not easy, goals that you see and you'll be like, wow, what a strike. And that's the type of goals Phil Foden has scored this season. So that shows the level of, I think, like you said, where Man City is where we are aspiring to be in the next couple of years, because the football is sweet, everything is looking good, everything is looking interesting. The players are enjoying themselves playing football, and you could see Kopama is actually enjoying himself. He is not pressured to do it. He's just enjoying all what he's doing with the Chelsea squad. I think he just needs the players around him to understand him better, and then
Yes.
that team is going to be scoring goals. I don't know of the defensive part of the pitch, but going forward, I think Cole Palmer, the likes of the likes of Mudrik, and if they have a very good season, we can see a very good attacking Chelsea side that will be scoring goals every season. And I think just Cole Palmer, I don't know, but this season, and I hope he wins the Golden Boot, because
Yeah.
it deserves it. It deserves it
Hell,
100% for what he has done this
definitely
season.
PFA Young Player of the Year is gonna get that.
Yes,
He will definitely
yes.
be in contention for Player of the Year as well because he
Oh,
done
yeah,
so
yes.
well.
And like you said, Gareth Southgate, if you are listening to me right now,
Yeah.
Kopama needs to be in that squad. I don't give a like like I am a United fan, but I don't care. I want Rashford to be at home
Hmm.
so he can learn. Like football, like shouldn't be added to you. You should deserve it. I think Kopama deserves it 100%. He should be one of the first name in that England squad going. I think the way it is now, it also is to pick in the squad going for the Euros.
Yes, you gotta earn it, like the weekend said, bruv. You gotta earn your position. But Cole Palmer, big up to him.
Yeah,
First season at Chelsea, he is the top goal scorer. He's the main man. And let's move it straight into another segment, guys. We are finished for the Cole
yeah,
Palmer situation. We moving on to the next one, which is of course for those who don't know. Before we get to the preview of the FA, for those who don't know, Bastian Schweinsteiger was interviewed by Gary Neville. I think it's called the Overlap or whatever it was called. That kind of
overlap.
podcast
Yeah,
where Bastian Schweinsteiger was interviewed about his treatment, and they spoke about his treatment from between him and Jose Mourinho. And you guys remember, back then, after Louis Van Gaal left. Jose Mourinho came in, and we all know that Bastian Schweinsteiger was still a top player, but Jose Mourinho for some reason was treating him odd. He was always on the bench, and even when it came to an FA Cup game, he didn't even allow him to play the full night. He took him off and etc. Even when it came to his last game, the way he treated him, and I felt we mistreated Bastian Schweinsteiger. To bring him in from Bayern Munich and only last about 2.5 seasons, which is the story of Manchester United when they signed these big iconic players. It just doesn't end well. It doesn't last that long. So let's just go through because I'm looking at the Daily Mail, and of course, Ola, I think you've watched that little segment. I think it's about 2 minutes long on Instagram or YouTube or Twitch, where he just describes about when it was his birthday and the way Jose Mourinho
yeah.
spoke to John Murtough. I'm going to read you
Treated
guys some
him.
quotes for those who don't know much. Give you a little bit of the brief of what took place and the interview itself where it was interviewed by Gary Neville. So we're going back to it was to 2016. I was with the German national team. This is Bastian Schweinsteiger speaking. We went far in the competition in the European Championship, reaching the semi-finals. So I stepped in a little later at Manchester United, and the team was in the US for a pre-season tour. Schweinsteiger recalled his start to the 2016-17 season. When I arrived on the first day, I trained with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and I thought it was great. A player who has the vision and an amazing to play with. The next day, on his birthday, when I walked into Carrington, John Murtough was there and said that I wasn't allowed to walk into the dressing room. The coach had said so. No warning. Nothing, says Bastian Schweinsteiger. I don't know why he told me. Someone could have told me there on my first day of training or explained to me that in the normal way. But okay, I went to the youth dressing room and trained with the under 16s. Can you imagine that? A senior pro, a Bayern Munich legend, a Champions League winner, a World Cup winner, being treated like that, in of course, a big figure at Manchester at that time, even after his first season with Louis van Gaal. Schweinsteiger added that he has been completely kicked out to the extent that Myrtle had to bring him his cleats and training gears. Imagine that, John Myrtle is bringing you all your stuff. That's crazy. And I asked him, who am I training with? And he said there was the under 16 team. So I went and trained with the under 16. Schweinsteiger continued. Do you imagine 16-year-olds seeing Schweinsteiger thinking, why are you here? Like, you're a top player. You're like better than, you're on the same level as any of their top players, like maybe Paul Pogba or maybe Mata at that time there. Like, you're Bastian Schweinsteiger. Why are you training with us, 16-year-old? They probably was confused. Schweinsteiger continues to say, I asked him whether I could talk to the manager in the afternoon. So when I came back from training with the under 16 where I trained so bad because I didn't know what was going on and it was a joke. And then had a meeting with Mourinho in the afternoon. Schweinsteiger says, of course, I came back to the United and I was in contact with the doctors and I watched the game. I had a conversation with Louis van Gaal when he was coached, and he said to come on the weekend to United to remain in contact with the doctor. They need me fit, and was an FA Cup final, which I almost played. That was our agreement and I kept to it. For me, I just wanted to get healthy and wanted to be able to play. I stuck to the agreement with Louis van Gaal, and obviously the board thought it was little differently about that. The 8-time Bundesliga explained that he had the only one he had been the only one who had been moved to the youth dressing room at the start of Mourinho's spell at the club. Before he started to work on as an individual program, entirely removed from his teammates. I was training alone for at least 3 months for fitness with a fitness coach, he added. I also trained before and after the first team. This was the treatment that he was getting. People will complain about Jadon Sancho. You better open your ears about this one, because he wasn't talking nonsense when it was about Bastian
Yeah.
Schweinsteiger, but he was talking all that shit when it's Jadon Sancho and Eric Ten Hag's beef. But no one was talking about this. I feel sorry for him because he never spoke about it. He never went publicly. You see the difference with that. Bastian, very professional, never went publicly about it. He could have. If we found out, we'd probably all be outraged. Let's continue reading. Mourinho never let me train with the first team. I guess they wanted to get rid of me in that moment. I was still super happy at Manchester United. I loved to wear the jersey. I loved it. You see? You hear that? Sancho's not like that. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe it was just a period. I train now, keep myself fit, and maybe one day they'll change their mind. My dream was to always step back into Old Trafford. So limited Bastian Schweinsteiger's contract with the first team that he didn't see them. Until sometimes I pass by a few or get a message from the former midfielders say that they didn't understand the decision, but I didn't see them. I had to train in the morning and after their sessions to not see them. Imagine that. So he's hearing that they don't understand why he's been treated like this, but he never even got to see them to have that conversation with them. I was the PFA union representative. He was even the PFA union representative and not allowed to do that. You can't dismiss something like that. It's constructive dismissal in some way, he said. It probably a few years too late. You should have come and see me at that time. I'm stunned and embarrassed that I'm hearing, because I always think players leave clubs and people fall out. That's what Gary Neville was saying. But there was a way to do things and a way to behave, and that Schweinsteiger did stress that Mourinho eventually apologized, even if by then the damage was largely done. After 3 months of training on my way at Old Trafford, Manchester United, one day Mourinho and his assistant came to me and said that I could train with them, the first team, and I can and train with them, and I think I train well, and I like to play with Paul Pogba and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Schweinsteiger added. This he believed was largely due to the difficulties the club was encountering on the pitch. That's why they brought him back. Schweinsteiger eventually turned for the side for 4 times during the campaign. Later, I got the minutes as Schweinsteiger, and when you see the other players playing it in your position, you think, I'm better than this guy. We had Paul Pogba, Andrea Herrera, Mikel Carrick, Morgan Schneider, and Marwan Fellaini, and I thought I wasn't the last one in the group for that position. He said sometimes you'll be sitting there after the game and then people come in into the dressing room from the board and come to shake your hand. For me, this wasn't easy because I wasn't thinking that my heart was broken and it wasn't full of red anymore. Wow. The first time someone apologized when I decided to leave United for America and asked Jose if I could do that. He then apologized for the way he treated me in the beginning. He had to let me go because he could not say no to me in that moment. I don't want to speak about him as a player. I don't want to speak to I think, no, wait. In 2017, the former Chelsea and Inter vocalized a similar feeling, saying that Schweinsteiger was in the category of the players that I feel sorry for sometimes that I had to do to him. I don't want to speak about him as a player, says Mourinho. I don't want to speak as I buy or not to buy. I want to speak about him as a professional and as a human being. The last thing I told him before he left, I was not right with you once. I had to be right with you now. So when he was asking me to let him leave, I had to say yes, you can leave because I did it once. I cannot do it twice. So I felt sorry. I feel sorry for the first period with him. He knows that. I'm happy that he knows because I told him I will miss a good guy, a good professional, a good influence in training, and a very good influence. That's the whole article for those. I'm sorry that took so long to explain. Now you've got the full intake. Ola, wow. What? Wow. Just wow. Wow.
Wow, yeah. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't know how you get in a player of Bastian Schweinsteiger's quality. He was already a German legend before he came to United. Came to came into the team to help the team, and you treat him that way. I don't think anyone should be in support of that. And you later you coming back to say you made a mistake and all. You should have done the right thing. I don't think all that really changed anything for Bastian Schweinsteiger because he was not like you treated him like he did something wrong. Even
mhm.
there are players that have done things that are wrong. They don't even get treated this way. Players who are committed of like different offenses, like disrespected the manager and all. We've not seen them being treated this way. Training with the under 16s. Imagine that. Imagine Schweinsteiger going into the dressing room. Like they are not allowing him to go to the dressing room. He has to go into the under 16 dressing room and train with the under 16.
Can you
Imagine
imagine a
me
grown
now.
man, kids?
me-
Come on.
imagine me at Carrington now seeing Barcelona but at 16 years seeing Stretford coming in. I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? I think it's just so unfair. It's a very bad treatment, and no one would or should support such treatment. And I think I don't care what Mourinho says later. I don't care whatever he told him after that treatment. But I just think it's unfair, and we have to learn how to treat people, not just because he is a footballer or is a legend of the game, but because he's also human. It deserves to know, like, if they're going to punish someone, it deserves to know the reason why it's getting punished. And there's a certain way you don't treat people. I think it's just wrong. I don't even we don't even need to go into details of all what happened and this and that. I just think it's wrong, and modern day managers need to learn from this. I feel that the Jadon Sancho instead is different. You can't compare that to that of Schweinsteiger because Jadon Sancho actually did something wrong and was punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
And but with Schweinsteiger, he just came into the training ground and it was like you can't go to the dressing room. You have to go train with the under 16. It's like they have to bring him his kit, and he had to go and change and the under 16 dressing room. Imagine how that sounds for a player
You
of
have kids.
Schweinsteiger's
You have
quality.
kids. And you can't change with kids. You're a grown man. These are under 16. You can't change with them.
No, it's,
You
it's
have to
just
wait
it's just
until
so
they
sad.
get changed, and then you can go in there and get changed. let's talk about that because you can't. He's a grown man. He can't be
Yes,
getting changed with under 16-year-old boys. Like it's not right.
and these are
I
the
think.
untold and these are the untold stories you don't hear. If not
Mhm.
if not for this interview and overlap, we don't know about this. We've not heard anything about this. And also kudos to Schweinsteiger because if it was from other players, the ego would have gotten into them that I Schweinsteiger, you can't treat me this way, and they would have done press conference, they would have called the media, they might have gone to PS Morgan and all like like Cristiano did, but at the end of the day, you don't treat people this way. You don't treat a footballer, a legend in the game this way for no
Yeah.
reason. Without him making any he didn't do anything wrong. He's just treated and you now come back to apologize. What's the apology for? Do the right
Yeah.
thing. We need to learn we need to learn how to do the right thing and avoid unnecessary apology because you the guy had to move to America and he went there, he played games.
Hmm.
So and at that point we had players in our midfield that were not performing, and Barcelona would have done a better job than what they have done, but he wasn't even given the chance. So I think with this I just think it's just sad and we just need to learn that no we don't know everything. We as fans
No,
we just know what we are being told because if this didn't come out we all would know that such a thing happened, and I think it's unfair. And Jose Mourinho, as a coach, also needs to do better.
you need to do better, man. You know what? Yeah. I don't stand for this, but I would love them to treat Maguire like this. To be fair, if you're gonna treat someone like this, treat Maguire, man. Tenor. This is you should learn from Mourinho and how to get rid of a player effectively because that's what we would have hoped for when it came to Harry Maguire. Just say that you're with the reserves, bro. You know. And be really cold, and like you can't get changed here because he's the one that deserves it. But Bastian Schweinsteiger, in my opinion, never deserved that type of treatment because he never had a bad season with us in his first season. Yes, he picked up a couple of injuries, but still he never really had the bad first season.
And that was due
He
to his
helped
age.
Manchester United win the FA Cup
Yes,
with
yeah,
Goldbridge.
and yes, and that was due to his age actually because we knew what we were getting. Same this season with Eriksen. We knew what we were getting. We knew we were not getting the younger version of Eriksen that would play week in week out. We knew he was injury prone. We knew he had some issues. So like when you are getting in old players, same with Casemiro. Like you don't expect Casemiro to run the full length of the pitch because he's getting older every season. So I think our expectation of some of these players also is way too much because yes, the quality is there. Look at Toni Kroos, the quality is there, but the legs are not there. That's why they need people like Chouamini, Kamavinga to come in to do the running. So we need to lower our expectation. If you are getting a player that is 30, 32, 33 years old into your team, you should know that they are not on the level they were when they were 25. It's different. You can only have one Ronaldo or one Zlatan Ibrahimovic that can play to 40 that have been fit till 38, 40 years. But even Ronaldo can't. There's a level of running Ronaldo can do. There's a level of running Zlatan can do, even as fit as they are. So we need to lower our just. I remember, I could remember when Schwarzenegger was here. He was getting insulted by a lot of the fans also that he's not fit enough. He's getting injured at all. We knew what we were getting. His last season at Bayern, he was already getting injuries before we went to get him. So either we don't get these players at all, but when you get players that are experienced, they have the quality, but the legs might not be there. So we need to accept that fact and just try to work with what we have, like just get the little we can get out of them and let them go, and hopefully the young players learn off them and get better. Like you can see what Firmino is doing with Casemiro now. He's learning off Casemiro. Fine, you can say Casemiro is not he hasn't really had his best time at Manchester United, but there's a lot of learning the young players can do from him because he has been at the highest level of football. It's not only about coming in playing 90 minutes every time. On the training pitch, they learn from players like Bastian Schweinsteiger, players like Casemiro, players that have done it, they've been there, they've done it, they have the quality, and they are very good players. So it's just so unfair on him, and I just hope other managers can learn from this and do better. Do better. Don't treat players, not just Bastian Schweinsteiger. Don't treat players like shit. Treat
Yeah,
players well. Treat
absolutely.
players well. They are also human. They are not just footballers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Continue smashing that like button, guys, as we're coming close to the end. We've got the preview next. And let me just get this comment. Depth says, Ivor knows what it takes to isolate Maguire. Yeah, man. Kick him out of the kick him out, man. Him and McTominay, just isolate them. Players that you don't want, isolate them. I hope he does that next
Yeah.
season. Even in fact, when we go on pre-season, if they're still here, don't take them on tour. Tell them you guys are staying behind, but we're trying to sell you. We don't even want you playing. We don't even want you to get injured. We don't want you to train. We don't want you to fly. We don't want anything. Just in case you need to do a medical, you can go straight to them and do your medical. But yeah, let's move it on. And it's over to you as we do the
Yeah.
FA Cup
Yes,
preview.
yes, yes, yes. The FA Cup preview, FA Cup semi-final. I think this is going to be exciting. We have the Chelsea. I think we'll start on the Chelsea City game first. I think that's going to be an interesting one. Now, City are out of the Champions League, so I think Chelsea should be ready for a very good game. But I still think Chelsea can actually still get results. It's the FA Cup. Uh, it's 11 players each, and they can actually out Man City. But I think the level of the game we saw against Real Madrid, even though they lost, they played really well. I think if they play like that against Chelsea, they will absolutely get the win and get into that final. But hopefully Chelsea too could just bring a surprise at them. So Chelsea Manchester City semi final. What do you think about that game? And what's your prediction for the game?
Look, obviously, of course, it's blues versus blues, sky blue
Yeah,
versus dark blue, whatever you want to call it. I hate when they play each other because they both wear their home kits, and I'm like, it's disgusting on towards my eyes, man. Play your away kit and
yeah,
your home kit. But yeah, I think because of the Real Madrid defeat to Man City, I feel like, of course, Pep always feels a strong team. Doesn't matter who it is, especially when it comes to cup competition. He goes for it and he wants to win it with Chelsea as well, who want to win something to just give something to Pochettino to work with and build on. And I'm very sure Pochettino wants to win, especially losing the League Cup final to Liverpool as well. So I feel like he wants to do something. But still, I'm looking at the situation. I think Man City are still too strong for Chelsea. They're upset right now with the defeat of the Champions League, and they want to go and kill Chelsea, because they got to beat someone up, and beat them well. And Chelsea happens to be the victim. And I always said it earlier on. I always feel sorry for the next team who plays City when they lose, because they're in their mind, they're thinking the next
yeah.
person that I see, they're getting it. Then they're getting it. Like, I don't care. They're gonna
But
get
the
it.
thing is,
Mentality.
Ivorian. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're saying, but I think they can actually still learn from the defending of Real Madrid because I think they have played like Manchester City have played Real Madrid in that game.
Mm-hmm.
We like it's easy to see, but they got the goal and they defended really well. Even though they considered later and they had to go to extra, but if you can take your chances, because you Chelsea might get just 2 or 3 chances in that game. But if you
Yeah.
can take your chance and defend really well, I think it's the mentality of Chelsea. You can't really trust this Chelsea team to go all out to like get a good result again. But I just think it's FA Cup semi final. Maybe they can do it. So what's your prediction? Like that, I always like that prediction. I'd like to
Yes.
pick something up
I think.
there.
I think. I think. I
I
think
think
it's
I
going to
think
be.
maybe because of the show we'll start like also.
Mm-hmm. I think. I think for me, I think City will win it. I'm thinking maybe I think a 3-1 scoreline for Manchester City. A goal from Cole Palmer to score first against City, and then City come back and just beat Chelsea. 3-1 Manchester City for me.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay. I think City too because I just think they will be too strong for Chelsea. Uh, I'm open for any surprise because I think I would prefer to play Chelsea than to play City in the final. That is if we actually get to the final because you don't know what might be another team to expect. But I just think City will be too good for them, and the option City have, not just starting. Look at yesterday's game. They had to take off Grealish. They brought on Doku. Like the
Mm-hmm.
players they have about they have talent. They have a lot of good
Mm-hmm.
players that they can bring on that could change games. You see, they have Alvarez, they have Aland. They are two different. They are two different players. They have Doku. They have Grealish. They are two different players. They have Bernardo Silva. They are like the players they have. If you look at that City team, I think. they can win any team they play against. And for Chelsea, they are still building. The confidence is not there yet.
Mhm.
The the winning mentality is not there yet, even though they've been on a run of a couple of games now winning. But this is City, and City could actually or should actually get the win in that game. So I'll go with a 2-1 win, but I'm open for any surprises in that game. So moving off that, I think this is the one that really concerns us, which is the Manchester United versus Coventry game. I think I did when it comes to this game. I think let me hear your thoughts. What you think of the game and your prediction for the game? Because I don't think I really have much to say because I don't know what to expect from United.
Do you know what, you guys? No, like, I understand we're in a bad form, but imagine that we don't beat Coventry, a team that's in the lower division than us, you know. And let's not lie, and we know that Manchester United can easily get what's the word easily approached. Guys, Ola will be back. You know, I think he just lost his connection. He probably pressed the button, but yeah, he's back now. Yeah. We know that Manchester United can, as we say here in the UK, move to, as in like, be approached by any team and get robbed, or get G checked by any team. You know, which
Yeah,
imagine that, like for example, where we happen to be area boys and we see someone that's not. We're from this area. We'll G check them. Regardless, any team, it doesn't even matter who we are, whether
yeah,
our reputation is big or small. Like they'll get G checked by anyone, you know. And I just feel like they will lose the midfield battle against Coventry. I know Coventry will have their opportunities. That just like you saw the game against Wigan, you saw Wigan, they done well. You saw the other team, Newport as well. They also caused trouble against Manchester United and Coventry as well.
yeah,
This is like a lottery match for them. This is the biggest
yeah.
game of their season.
Of
Let's
their
be
season,
honest with
yeah,
you. So they're gonna go with this match into this match 120% effort and everything,
yeah.
every tackle,
True.
second balls, you know. Pause when I said that, bruv. Yeah, they're gonna go for it against Manchester United, and Manchester United will struggle. But I still feel like our quality will see us
Yeah,
through and win this game. And probably
yeah.
maybe win the game 2-1. And let's not be surprised if Coventry scored the first goal. We work our arse off to come back into the game. Because I can see that happening. Holla. I can see that happening because of Manchester United. We're not in best of form.
Yeah,
Confidence is low. Players are striking.
yeah.
People are questioning whether the players are playing for the manager. There's so much shit in the air. But I think Manchester United players know they have to win this game. Because if they don't, yeah, please stay off of social media. Deactivate your social media accounts. Don't give us this post of, "Oh, we're really sorry," you know, all that kind of stuff. We'll go again next time, next season. We really wanted to win it for you guys, the fans, but we let you down. We don't have time for that, you know.
The
Just come on.
players, the players need to do the talking on the pitch. Enough of the social media nonsense. Do the talking on the pitch, and that's what is important. I feel like we United this season. I've been hopeful a lot throughout the season, and they've they've not given me anything like to make me feel confident that yes, we can actually go on to even win against a Coventry. Like this is how bad we are. We are playing against Coventry and we don't even know what to expect. Fine, we know yes, we could edge it because of the quality of players we have and all, but we don't still know what to expect. We don't know how bad that game is going to be. We know that there's one constant this season that we'll be playing shit. So, but we don't know how shit the performance is going to be. If it's going to be the shit that we can still get the win, or it's going to be a shit that we might end up not getting the win. So that's how the season to come to an end. And most likely, if we get City in the final, Ivoria, we might be sitting down here and just being pissed that we lost the final to City. But I just want to see. I want us to win. Don't get me wrong. I want us to win because I'm a United fan. And if we get to the final, anything can happen. If be it City, be it Chelsea, we can still get the win. Football can be funny sometimes,
Mhm.
so it happens. But regardless, I don't. It's Coventry. We are going to get the win. It's Coventry, but we can actually lose because we've struggled against every single team this season. But like
Mhm.
I said,
Mhm.
what's your prediction? That's I enjoy this prediction of the team.
I think definitely. I think Man United will win 2-1. With Coventry scoring the first goal and Manchester United coming back to win the game. Whether it's a full 90 minutes or extra time, because Manchester United are capable of going to extra time, especially in these games in the semi-final. Yeah,
Yeah.
then yeah, we don't know whether that will be the case, but Manchester United will end up winning 2-1 on the night.
I think the United fan part of me will also just take it. I will take a 1-0.
Mhm.
I will just take us just going to the final. At least I feel that's one thing that can give United fans like a bit. We might be lucky enough to just win it by because I know we can't outplay City. So if we meet City in the final, we either win it by luck or we just something just happens and we win the game. And same with like I think Chelsea would be like a fair game. Like it would be a fair
Mhm.
team to play. And just it should be balanced. To be a balanced final and the best team will actually win. We saw what happened in the league. Just that we bottled it and we bottled it in the last 2 3 minutes, but it was an interesting game to watch and it was like an even game because both sides are not actually that good. So, but we see City are levels above us. So if we play against City, I think we are going to struggle. We're playing badly. We've had 1-0, we've had 2-1 win against City when City have dominated the game. So we can actually still win against City. But the first step is getting into the final. And I just hope we can win against Coventry. 2-1 also, my prediction will be 2-1 going into the final. And let's see what happens in the final. And guys, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. Uh, subscribe. Share the videos to your friends. A lot of interesting moments, a lot of interesting things. There's a new topic, there's something trending. And by this time next week, I think we should be happy that we are in the FA Cup final. And
Yeah.
hopefully we've we can just win. We can win some. Chelsea are coming. And the most embarrassing thing is seeing Chelsea go ahead of United. I think we are not fighting for the league. I don't even think we are fighting for the top four. I think we
Mhm.
are fighting for staying in that sixth position and not going down. And with the way Chelsea and with the way Chelsea are coming, I think we are just 2 points or 3 points ahead of Chelsea right now. So that means they can actually go above us if we lose any game. I will see how Arsenal to play. Lose.
That is.
Let let me create. I want to create like an hypothetical situation. Let's say City lose and Arsenal need to beat United to go top of like to basically stay top of the table. That game is going to be the game. Once once United wins, if United can win against Arsenal in that situation, I'll forget
Mhm.
about everything that has happened this season. Because I would be actually very happy. But like you said, we can see actually we still have the opportunity of getting the trophy, unlike some teams, some other teams, and
Mhm.
uh, I think even though I back us now, I don't really like them, but I was just hoping the players could get what they deserve or could actually just take it to the next level because they got in Declan Rice, they got in some players because these are players that have good mentality, can take us to the next level and all. And we are not seeing that level because they're actually battling the league again this season. But that's the beauty of the Premier League, and anything can still happen. Mind you, Arsenal can still win this league. Mind you, Liverpool can still win the league. If the league is still basically open,
Yeah,
anyone that lose is actually going down. So I think fine, we know what City can do in that position, but City can actually still bottle it. So as the fact that we are laughing at Arsenal and Arsenal fans and all the banter, I still think we still need to know that we still have 7 games to go, I think. And in those 6 or 7 games, anything can happen and anyone can still actually win the league. Apart from United and some other teams. So it has been an interesting show, Ivory, and just let's round up.
yes, it could. Again, guys, we have come to the end of the show. What we had today as well. We're back again next week, Thursday for your football podcast as well. I'm back on Sunday, 10 past 3, FA Cup. Make sure you guys tune in. Ready Night TV, 10 past 3 FA Cup semi-finals, Coventry versus Manchester
Yeah.
United, and on Monday 8 p.m. back with the gang to talk about that in the catch-up. It's gonna hopefully it's a good week for us, Manchester United fans, to see Manchester United advance to the finals. It is what it is, my guys. Big up to you guys. Bless up. It has been one hell of a show. Make sure you subscribe to Red United TV. Make sure you subscribe to Football Family. Me and Ola are
Yeah.
out. See you next week, Thursday, same time. And yes, as always, like I said before we end the show, for Manchester United fans, remember to keep it united, as much as you can. Remember to keep it Red United TV and remember to keep it Football Family. We are out.
Family
See you next time,
out.
bro. Peace out.
Love, guys.
Love.
Yeah.